So first off, I wanted to thank Erin for inviting us to share our on-demand scribe program with you and a little bit about on-demand. I am Sarah Roundtree. I am the manager of the scribe program, but I also have Christelle here with us.
I'm the director of the scribe program. It's nice to see everybody.
Wanted to start by giving you a little bit of background about us. However, I'm going to go through the next slides pretty fast so we can get to like the meat of what we're here for. So On Demand was established in 2006 when the administrative team from that supports an emergency provider group went from an employed model to a contracted services. On-demand staffing sits under an on-demand umbrella. So on-demand, we provide a selection of services, including staffing. I keep forgetting about that. Sorry. They're either offered altogether or a la carte.
The benefit of these other services that On Demand provides is that it has added a unique experience besides just scribing, which we'll get into. We support clinicians. I say clinicians because it's not just physicians, it's mid-levels like nurse practitioners, physician assistants. We cover the gambit of administrative responsibilities, from billing and coding to staffing to practice administrative services.
So we have a list of clients supported under the on-demand umbrella. However, not all of our clients use scribes. The emergency department is our largest staffing client, followed by ortho and a women's health clinic that we have. So our program actually began in 2001 with a group of local emergency room providers until it found its home at On Demand in 2007. So we have grown with that emergency group from one emergency department to 5. And then when we hire for specific client needs, and our training covers those needs. We have a tiered training program that starts with online, that's approximately 30 hours, classroom and floor training, which takes up the rest of the approximately 80 to 100 hours of training. So what does a scribe do, right? That's what you're all interested in. So scribes work under the personal supervision of a provider during each shift. They document history of present illnesses, review the systems, exams, procedure notes, the discharge pathways, and prescription writing.
You may be wondering what is that, but anybody interested in pre-medical studies of any sort, this is what you are going to get to at some point. And this is what scribes do on a daily basis.
So I went too far, different screens. Basic role. Sorry, we're going off 2 different screens here. The enhanced role may be limited by either the level of comfort the provider has with the scribe or the level of comfort the patient has with the scribe in the room, right?
The scribe still does the basic functions in the role as a scribe, but for those who are more experienced and have a better comfort with the provider, we have this additional enhanced role, and it's things that we do in addition to the basics of a scribe. So some little more things that sit between clinical and non-clinical realm, helping to set up sterile procedures, functioning in a sterile environment, assisting in holding a patient, whether it's for limb stabilization or other needs. But it's a little bit more interactive and just an opportunity to advance your experience.
My personal favorite is the limb stabilization. Just a little hint, upper body strength. So how to become a scribe, right? Above, or what you see, is a list of our basic requirements. Depending on positions available, we hire both full-time and part-time employees. And we ask for a minimum of 1 year for part-time employees. No, sorry, full-time employees, and 2 years for part-time employees.
The basic requirements are really dependent on whether it's a facility-based position like the emergency department, and facility being a hospital system. Non-facility would be a clinic. We follow the basic same requirements so that we have some scribes who are able to go in between. So they work in the emergency department some days, and then in other days they help fill positions in a clinic. It's limited in those roles that we have, but we try to onboard everybody similarly so that we have that freedom for experience for our scribes. So really, how to become a scribe? We don't have a huge application process. We're always collecting resumes, so if it's something that you're interested, you can send it in at any time. What we didn't really go into in these slides is what we talked about separately is the intangible experiences that you get being a scribe. Things that were mentioned by the previous presenters are things that you get to experience as a whole as a scribe. This isn't an internship, it's a paid job. So, you get that benefit of getting paid to do something that you are working towards. And it does meet the requirements of patient interactions and patient experience. Depending on what you are pursuing at Boise State, we have some of our employees who are students who also get credit for their experience as a scribe. The intangibles are the experience of working side by side with a clinician. And a clinician is a physician, nurse practitioner, physician assistant. We also work alongside the ancillary staff, nursing staff, CNAs, and we get that firsthand experience of what it's like to care for a patient from start to end. We see the decision-making process that the providers go through. You're immersed in the medical terminology, in the labs, radiology, treatment, all the things that you're working towards. It's a great experience that you get to have firsthand. And some of that stuff you don't actually get to experience until you are a clinician yourself. And clinician, we do seem to attract a lot of pre-medical student studies, but we have nursing students, pre-dental,
Currently as a respiratory therapy.
It's a well-rounded group of individuals, all with kind of a like mindset in this is a stepping stone onto the bigger picture. But we are collecting resumes currently for our next planned hire round this year, which is coming shortly. And we do have a deadline that we're asking for anybody who's interested to send them in by March 15th. We understand everybody here is in their freshman year, and maybe this isn't something that you're ready to think about yet. Save the information. It may be something that you're interested at a later time. Freshman year is a great time to get your footing under you, figure out how you are with your class schedule and your personal life. And those two things are come first, then the job. We fully support at On Demand. Education comes first. So when we hire individuals, we take into account where you are in your studies, what is your workload each semester going in, because it's a hefty workload that scribing is itself. So just something to consider.
Questions you have for the on-demand staff?
I guess my question is, you're saying that it takes a lot of time. How much time commitment is it about a week? You know, like how many hours are you working?
We usually ask for 2 to 3 shifts per week of availability. And shifts for us are 8 hours altogether. The emergency department really does seems to highlight well for students because we staff 24/7 and there's shifts scattered throughout the day and night, which, you know, facilitates that ever-changing schedule that you might have Monday, Wednesday, Friday compared to Tuesday, Thursday. But we also have our clinics, which are daytime.
Questions?
What's the biggest thing you guys are looking on a resume?
We get that question all the time. And to be honest, it's hard to give a single answer. Number one thing that we look at in the beginning is availability, because we do, like I said, take into consideration what is your workload, what kind of classes are you taking for upper division students taking OChem and a physics class. We know that's probably going to be a really rough semester for you. So not the best time to maybe start. Availability is key for us. And the rest comes with the interactions that we have. What are you wanting to do? Are you self-motivated? Can you multitask? Are you good learning on your own and then working with somebody under the direction of somebody? Those aren't things that you can really list out in a resume, but those are the things that we look for. Those are all great questions, guys.
My understanding that On Demand facilitates most of the St. Luke's clinics. Is that correct still?
It varies. So St. Luke's, we do hold a contract exclusively with them. Currently, we provide services in the 5 emergency departments around this area. So Fruitland, Boise, Meridian, Nampa, and Elmore. Our group of providers also works at an urgent care, which we don't go to currently. We do provide services in different clinics at St. Luke's, rheumatology, orthopedics, which can expand. Others that use scribes at St. Luke's, they do it on an individual basis, not through a company, usually self-managed through somebody separately. They don't have a hard set standard.
Well, thank you so much for coming tonight. We know that your evening, you probably want that all back. We appreciate your time. This is another example, students, of an opportunity. Even if you're not thinking about going to medical school or PA school or something like that, this is experience, you know, something you're all craving. And I've had students in the years past who have said, gosh, I think I'm going to dental school. And they've done this opportunity and realized they wanted to be physicians. So, and vice versa. So it flips back and forth. So this is a great experience. So thank you so much for your time tonight. You are